Hello, devoted Celtic fans. Today we're diving deep into the whirlwind that has been the past week at Lennoxtown, where the mood among players, staff and supporters alike seems to have reached an uneasy tipping point. Since Sunday's game, the chatter has been relentless, with pundits, former players and fans all weighing in, dissecting each action, reaction and headline. It feels like Celtic are in a period of turbulence that is being felt in every corner of the club, and anyone paying attention would agree that this isn't business as usual. The latest articles and commentary have pointed towards a disconnect that is troubling, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the current environment at Lennoxtown is far from harmonious. One of the most striking points that keeps emerging is the way the players are responding, or rather not responding, to Wilfried Nancy's leadership. His early days have been marred by uncertainty, and the reports suggest that the squad are struggling to embrace his methods, tactics, and overall vision for the team. This isn't simply a matter of a rough patch. There seems to be a real lack of cohesion between the manager and the squad, and that's a problem no club wants to face at this stage of the season. The situation has been further complicated by the ongoing issues surrounding the coaching staff, particularly the speculation about long-serving goalkeeping coach Stevie Woods. Having been with Celtic for 18 years, Woods's reported unhappiness under Nancy has been one of the more persistent stories circulating this week. It's telling that even when Nancy was asked directly about Woods, it didn't fully quiet the rumor mill. That alone signals a fracture somewhere behind the scenes. And the way it's being reported suggests that this isn't just idle gossip, it's an indication of friction between staff and management that has the potential to impact performance on the pitch. Watching the team recently, it's hard to ignore the subtle signs of this disconnection. Players appearing unsure, hesitant passes, and moments when cohesion seems to vanish entirely. It's not just a perception. When listening to players in interviews or analyzing their body language, there's a distinct sense that the squad are not fully bought into Nancy's system. Comments from Liam Scales, Luke McCauley and Austin Trusty over the past week paint a picture of uncertainty and cautious diplomacy, with few offering the kind of unequivocal backing a manager in a new role would usually hope for. The challenges extend beyond tactics. Celtic's squad depth, or lack thereof, has magnified these managerial issues. Injuries and international call-ups have left key players unavailable, further straining a side already struggling to find rhythm and confidence. With Sebastian Tekti and Michelle Annalisa out, along with other key players like Cameron Carter-Vickers, Alistair Johnson and Callum Osmond sidelined for the foreseeable, the options available for Nancy in attack are limited. Marcelo Sara and Kelechi Iheanacho are both dealing with recurring hamstring issues, meaning even when they are fit, their availability is uncertain. This forces the manager to rely on a narrower pool of players such as Johnny Kenny and Shin Yamada, with Dyson Maeda indicating a willingness to stay until after the World Cup. But the larger question remains: can the team perform consistently when so many core members are unavailable or struggling with form? The reality is that these challenges amplify the difficulties of managing the squad effectively. Even a manager of great experience can find it incredibly hard to instill confidence and cohesion under such circumstances. Reports and analysis from credible sources suggest that the board are weighing two primary options in response to the early season turbulence. The first is the drastic approach: to part ways with Nancy and acknowledge that this experiment has failed to take hold. Comparisons have been made to previous mid-season changes, such as the brief tenure of Dom Mai in 2021, highlighting how sometimes a new appointment simply doesn't fit the club's environment or culture, regardless of their prior successes elsewhere. The second option is to offer Nancy more time, backing him fully with the squad in the January transfer window. Yet even this approach is fraught with complications. Any significant investment in players tailored to Nancy's system carries the risk that if he were to leave before fully embedding his philosophy, those new signings might not suit a successor's tactics, leaving the club in a precarious situation. It's a delicate balancing act, and the combination of squad limitations, internal discord, and managerial uncertainty makes January reinforcements a less straightforward solution than it might appear at first glance. Adding to the complexity, there's the spectre of past legends like Martin O'Neill and Brendan Rodgers resurfacing in the conversation. O'Neill's recent comments indicate he could step in if required, reflecting a unique, somewhat chaotic aspect of Celtic's current season. Meanwhile, Rodgers' move to the Saudi Pro League is generating discussion about potential player interest abroad, raising questions about loyalty, morale, and ambition within the current squad. All of these factors feed into a sense that the club is in a transitional, unsettled period where clarity and stability are in short supply. Fans, naturally, are concerned. The disconnect between Nancy and the squad is one thing, but when combined with absences, injuries, and external speculation, it paints a picture of a club needing careful, considered management to avoid further complications. The league table doesn't offer immediate reassurance either. Rangers' recent victory over Hibernian means Celtic are under pressure despite having games in hand. Each match feels weighted, with supporters acutely aware that the team must perform despite internal issues. On the pitch, performances have been inconsistent, with the players struggling to adapt fully to Nancy's tactical approach. This inconsistency, when viewed alongside the reports of unease among the coaching staff and speculation about departures, leaves little room for complacency. The atmosphere around Lennoxtown, from training sessions to media interactions, reflects this uncertainty, with the club seemingly caught between past glories and present struggles, trying to find a way forward amidst a series of complex challenges. Even small interactions are now under scrutiny, with observers noting subtle tensions between Nancy and players such as Kieran Tierney. These moments, though brief, are symptomatic of broader underlying issues that cannot be ignored. If the manager lacks full control and confidence from the squad, the likelihood of consistent performances drops dramatically. Beyond individual performances, the team's cohesion, morale, and collective belief are at stake. Without full commitment from key players, even the most strategic plans risk collapse, leaving Celtic vulnerable in domestic competition and European fixtures alike. As it stands, every fixture becomes a test not just of ability but of leadership, unity, and resilience, with fans watching closely and hoping for a turning point that has yet to materialize. As we look ahead to the coming weeks, Celtic's fixture list offers no respite, and the mounting pressures will test Wilfried Nancy's ability to command the squad under increasingly challenging circumstances. The team are heading into matches with depleted options in attack, defensive vulnerabilities, and players who are still adapting or struggling to adapt to a tactical system that, while promising on paper, is clearly not fully understood or embraced on the pitch. Watching training sessions and interviews, the lack of enthusiasm and urgency from certain players has been hard to ignore. There is a sense that some of the squad are simply going through the motions, carrying the weight of expectations without fully buying into the manager's vision. For a club of Celtic stature, this is a dangerous situation. History shows that without unity, no amount of individual talent can consistently produce the results expected at Lennoxtown. The January transfer window is looming, and while it might seem like a potential solution, the reality is far from straightforward. Even if the board were to sanction new signings to bolster Nancy's system, there are risks inherent in investing in players who might not be compatible with a future manager should a change occur. The idea of recruiting specifically for Nancy's style only to potentially disrupt the squad again in a matter of months is a real concern. Furthermore, with key personnel already sidelined or out on international duty, any new additions would face the immediate challenge of integrating into a squad already under strain, making the impact of January signings far from guaranteed. It's a delicate situation where patience and strategic thinking will be critical, but the pressure to achieve results in the short term is immense, leaving little room for error. Observing the squad's morale, the reports suggest a division between those fully committed to Nancy's methods and those quietly questioning his authority. Comments from players such as Liam Scales, Austin Trusty, and Luke McCauley indicate a cautious approach when speaking publicly, but the underlying message seems clear. Confidence in the manager is not uniform. On the field, the lack of cohesion manifests in missed passes, sluggish transitions, and defensive hesitations. Even players known for their composure have displayed moments of uncertainty, reflecting the broader atmosphere at the club. For fans, these performances are frustrating, but for the coaching staff, they represent a warning signal that urgent intervention may be needed to prevent a prolonged period of underperformance. Celtic are a club accustomed to setting standards of excellence, and any hint of disarray is magnified in the scrutiny of supporters and media alike. The legacy of Wilfried Nancy's early tenure is already being shaped by these challenges. While his record in the United States demonstrates his capability to succeed, the environment at Celtic is a different landscape entirely, with its own pressures, expectations, and cultural nuances. Managing a squad with entrenched personalities, combined with the intensity of domestic and European fixtures, requires not just tactical acumen, but also the ability to inspire trust and commitment from every player. Currently, it appears that Nancy's relationship with the squad is fragile at best. Small interactions, body language, and comments in press conferences all point to a manager still finding his footing amidst a climate of uncertainty. The need to quickly establish authority and instill belief is pressing, yet the challenges he faces are compounded by the immediate results required in each fixture, creating a pressure cooker environment at Lennoxtown. Beyond the tactical and squad considerations, the wider footballing landscape adds further complexity. Brendan Rodgers' return to management in Saudi Arabia, for example, has prompted speculation about player interest abroad, particularly among those dissatisfied with the current situation at Celtic. While it's unlikely that key figures will depart mid-season, the mere presence of alternative opportunities can influence morale and focus. Similarly, the comments from Martin O'Neill suggest that interim solutions remain a possibility, keeping the door open for a high-profile intervention should the club decide a managerial change is necessary. This backdrop of uncertainty feeds into the broader narrative of a club in transition, where decisions taken in the coming weeks could have a lasting impact on the remainder of the season. For supporters, the tension is palpable as every match is now viewed not only through the lens of results, but also as a measure of the manager's ability to regain control and unify the squad. In the absence of key players like Sebastian Tekti and Michel Analisha, and with recurring injuries affecting Marcelo Sara and Kelechi Iheanacho, the reliance on remaining attacking options such as Johnny Kenny, Shin Yamada, and Daisen Maeda has never been greater. Even Maeda, while committed to staying until after the World Cup, is only one part of a striking lineup struggling to find consistency. The challenges extend to defensive organization as well, with absences and uncertainty affecting coordination and confidence at the back. It's a scenario where every positional gap is amplified and tactical adjustments must be made with precision to mitigate the impact of unavailable personnel. The pressure on Nancy to not only manage but also inspire a fragmented squad is enormous, and the margin for error is slim. Each fixture is both a test of ability and leadership, with the outcome influencing both immediate results and the long-term stability of the team. Looking at the broader competitive context, Celtic are under pressure from Rangers and Hearts, with the table offering no comfort. Despite games in hand, each result carries weight, as points drop not only affect league standing, but also influence perception, morale, and the club's ability to attract confidence from players and fans alike. The intensity of the Scottish Premiership ensures that any period of disarray is felt immediately, and the scrutiny from supporters, media, and pundits is relentless. Within this environment, the early signs of discord between Nancy and the squad are particularly concerning. A manager cannot afford to lose the dressing room, and with small cracks already evident, the need for rapid resolution is urgent. The club must find a way to balance immediate performance demands with the longer-term goal of restoring cohesion, unity, and belief. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The whispers around Parkhead have grown into a proper roar, and the word doing the rounds in the city is explosive. REO HATATE, one of Celtic's most influential figures in the engine room, is said to have drawn a firm line in the sand. According to sources close to the dressing room, the Japanese midfielder has made it clear he does not want to share the pitch with one particular teammate. Again, a stance that has sent shockwaves through Lennoxtown. This is being framed as more than a wee disagreement or a flash of temper. The chatter suggests a breakdown in trust, something that's been simmering for weeks before finally boiling over. Training ground exchanges have reportedly turned frosty, with sharp words exchanged and body language that told its own story. Those watching from the sidelines noticed Hatate keeping his distance, a quiet signal that all was not well among the hoops. Celtic supporters are used to drama, but this feels different. Hatate is not a player known for theatrics. He tends to let his football do the talking. That's why this rumor has legs. Insiders claim the issue goes beyond tactics or a misplaced pass, hinting at a clash of attitudes and professionalism. When standards slip, Hatate is said to be uncompromising, and this time he may have reached his limit. The gaffer now finds himself walking a tightrope. Managing big personalities is part of the job, yet losing harmony in the squad can quickly derail momentum. There's talk of emergency meetings, closed-door chats, and senior figures trying to calm the waters before the situation becomes public knowledge. For now, the club keeps a brave face, but the Berberino refuses to die down. In pubs, on buses, and across social media, the same question is being asked. Can this rift be repaired? Or is Celtic staring at a full-blown crisis? Until someone breaks the silence, the rumor mill will keep spinning and the tension around Parkhead will only grow. Hello. Fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.